I'd never thought of doing it before then. I just thought, I don't know, it just came to mind, wondered what it's like. So yeah, I tried on my mum's dress, and it was weird at first, but then all of a sudden I remember it felt quite comfortable, and just, I suppose I almost started to question, you know, whether I'm in the wrong body sort of thing. I first sort of got into drag itself when I was about 21, I think, 22, and that was due to going to a few of the gay bars in London, a particular one where they used to have drag acts a couple of times a week. And yeah, I liked the idea of the fact that these guys, these women, were sort of confident, they were quite popular, they were funny, there was a lot of attention to them, whether they be on stage or, you know, when they were just out amongst the crowd. Everyone seemed to want to know them. The drag queen that was working in the initial place, the first bar I worked in, sort of said, "Oh, you've got nice pins on your hand, you know, you'd be good at drag." And I thought, oh, actually I might. I don't know, it just sparked something. I thought, I'm going to try it. The actual drag act itself was, I mean, I suppose some people plan it. I never really did. I've never been going to plan anything in my life. And it's a case of, I suppose, initially you have to, we'd start off with like a song or something, and that's how I'd be introduced on stage. I'd be singing, you know, I can't even sing. It would be a mixture of, you'd pick people out of the crowd to pick on, to say, you know, the way they look, particularly the gay guys, obviously, or the lesbian sort of thing. When I was doing it, even the first time I did it, I did feel quite a buzz, actually, because, you know, the crowd were cheering on, people asking me questions from down below, and I'd be answering them back, and I just, all of a sudden it seemed as though, you know, well, you're the centre of attention, really. That's something I'd never been. My family actually hated it. They hated the whole prospect of drag, dressing as a woman. They weren't even too keen on homosexuality, to be honest. I mean, my dad is, if you can imagine, 6'6", 24 stone, ex-boxer. He's very set back in his ways, very traditional. You know, I tried to explain to him it's more than just, you know, a man dressing up as a woman. The fact being that I don't even want to be a woman. You know, this is just an act. I think to find love in, let's say, the gay scene, it can be quite superficial. If you're expecting to find your long-time partner out in the scene, I think the chances are quite small. They were for me, and I sort of always knew in the back of my mind that I didn't have a chance of finding somebody serious, not out in the clubs and the bars. I wore my heart on my sleeve, I guess, for a long time, and was very naive and went with people that I didn't even really get to know. You know, it was very much a case of having sex within the first night you'd met them, and it would quickly become a relationship. And yeah, I just wish that there was somebody that really did care for me and did like me for who I was, and obviously likewise in return, vice versa, that I could love them. You know, when I started to doing the actual drag acts, the people that I was hanging around with, I also started to get into drugs, things like that, and you know, I just had a lot of up and down times, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, both because of the drugs and because of depression, I guess. I was suffering from depression for quite a while and I just didn't realise. The drag act world is a little bit like fashion in the sense that you can look down on people, for instance, and if you're not at the top and doing the absolute best all the time, looking your best all the time even, you'll find other people that are in that category, i.e. other drag queens, will often remark, but it's very serious and you just feel a little more insignificant. I never really even had a social life as such, because though I was out drinking on evenings and things like that with friends, other drag artists and that, I wasn't actually enjoying myself. It was the drugs keeping a smile on my face, and I never did the normal things like walking, going to see places, taking holidays, or things like reading and, you know, typical hobbies that other people would have that they do in their spare time. If I wasn't working behind the bar as a bar manager and I wasn't doing drag in the evening, then I was probably in bed, if not taking drugs. So that social life itself ceased pretty much completely. Looking back at the time I actually spent in London, including the drag, drugs, alcohol, everything, was actually quite a lonely time. And I fell away from reality. I was somewhere else. I was putting on an act pretty much most of the time, and it was very depressing. You know, I'd have a smile on my face out in the clubs and what have you with friends, but when I got home, I couldn't get myself out of bed, for instance, and having nobody to actually share life with, nobody that I'd fallen in love with, just seemed to make it much worse, and it was very, very lonely. I think everything I've been through, as it is with anybody that's had a bit of shit in their life, it does make you a better person, and it is true when they say, you know, what doesn't kill you will make you stronger, and it's been a learning curve, I guess. I don't actually regret anything, to be honest. I thought I did, but I don't. I think it's the way my life was supposed to go to get to where I am today.